I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Music Theory Tuition series where I work with you step by step through the ABRSM Discovering Music Theory grades. I'll work through every single exercise and explain everything you need to know. You can access information about the books I have available to help you on my website. Go to sharonbill.com. For advert-free and longer lessons, you can become a patron at patreon.com/SharonBill. If you can give me a like, that would be super, and please do subscribe to my channel to stay updated. You can support this channel by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/SharonBill. Moving on to page 56 of the Grade 5 Discovering Music Theory workbook, we now get the opportunity to fully describe in more detail these chords that are listed. We get to explain what the chord is, and we also get to explain what position the chord is in by describing the lowest note at the bottom of the chord. All the procedures are exactly the same, we just now add this final little detail in. And so let's now have a look at this. We're told that we're in C major, and so if we just draw out our usual progression of chords, we're looking at chords 1, 2, 4 and 5 built on the first, second, fourth, fifth degrees of the scale. We've got the triads, so in C major chord 1 is built on C, then it's D, E, F is the fourth degree of the scale, G is the fifth. Build the triads, C, E, G, D, F, A, and then F, A, C, G, B, D. But now we're going to say whether we're on root position, first inversion or second inversion. We're going to describe the bass note as well. We're going to describe which position the chord is in. So here we can see we have an A, a C and an F, which is chord 4, but A is the bottom note, and so because A is the base of the chord, we would say it's 4B. It's in the first rearrangement of the notes, the first inversion. So here we know that this is a chord 5. We have a D, a G and a B, which is chord 5. But because the D is the lowest note, we would say it's 5C because it's in the second rearrangement, the second inversion. Here we know that this is chord 2 because we have an F, an A and a D. So it's all the chord notes for chord 2. But because F is the lowest note, we can describe it as being in the first inversion. Root is A, first inversion is B, so that's a chord 2B. And then here we have a B, a D and a G, which again is chord 5, but this time the lowest note is B, and so it's the first inversion, root, first inversion, second inversion, so we would say it's 5B, always using a lowercase to describe which is the bass note. Nothing new in describing the chords, we're just now adding a final detail by showing which is the lowest note, what's at the base of the chord. And so let's do our thinking first. If we just get everything mapped out, we're told that we're in D major, we're looking at chords 1, 2, 4 and 5. So if D is the first degree of the scale, E, G, A, D, F, A, E, G, B, G, B, D, A, C, E. And now we can say A for root position, B for first inversion, C for second inversion. And so here we have a chord 1, we have a D, F, A, so we know that it's a chord 1, but as the F, it's F sharp of course, but your key signature deals with that, is at the base of the chord, we'd call that a 1B. Here we have a chord 2, we have a G, a B and an E, so we know that it's chord 2, but as G is the lowest note, we'd call it 2B. Here we have a chord 4, we have a D, a G and a B, but as D is the lowest note, we would describe it as 4C because G at the bottom would be root, B at the bottom would be first inversion, D at the bottom is second inversion, which we call C. Now we have chord 5, which is based upon the notes A, C, E. We see they are all present, A, C, E. C sharp, of course, your key signature will deal with that, but because E is the lowest note, we would call that position C to represent that the last part of the triad is the base of the chord. So it's quite simple really. So if you want to try these next two, then go ahead and we'll check these together. Always better to have a go on your own. So let's check these through together. So we know that we're in the key of E flat major, so let's just map out our chords. We have chords 1, 2, 4 and 5, E, F, A, B. Let's get our triad, F, A, C, E, B, D, F, and then we have positions A, B and C. So here we got everything from chord 5. We're in the bass clef, we have a D, an F and a B, so we can see that everything is there to show us we clearly chord 5, but because as D is the bass note, it's the first inversion, we have 5B. Chord 1 is E, G, B. Of course it's E flats and B flats, but the key signature will deal with that. All we've got to do is show that the B is the lowest note of the chord, and so we're in position C, that's our second inversion. Here we have a chord 1, and we can, a chord 4, we can see that we've got a C, an E and an A, C, D, E, F, G, A, very high up in the bass clef. We can see that's chord 4, but because C is the lowest part of the chord, it's 4B. And then here we have an A, a C and an F, that's chord 2. The bass part of the chord is the A, which is the first inversion, we call that 2B. Now we're in F sharp minor, so let's just draw that out. We have chords 1, 2, 4 and 5. So if we're in F sharp minor, then F sharp is the first, G, A, B, C sharp. Your key signature will deal with everything apart from the raised 7th. F, A, C, G, B, D, B, D, F, C, E, G. And we have root position, first inversion, second inversion. So here in the bass clef, we have a chord 4. We have an F, a B and a D. Of course, your key signature will deal with the F sharp. But because the F sharp is the lowest note, we'd call that a 4C. Here we have a chord 2, we have a B, a D and a G. Your key signature will deal with the sharps, but because the B is the lowest note, we would describe it as 2B to show that it's the first inversion, the first shuffle of the notes as it were. Now here we have chord 5, there's our raised 7th, the E sharp at the bottom, then we have the G, then we have the C sharp, but because that E sharp is our base of the chord, we'd call that a 5B. And then here we have a very high chord, we have chord 1, we have the C sharp at the base, and then we have the F and the A. Because the C sharp, middle C sharp here is the bass, it's a chord 1C. And basically that's it. In this next exercise, we have the same scenario. We're only ever really looking to describe this lowest bass note. It's just that now we've got 4 parts where part of the chord will be duplicated, as we've seen can happen before. We don't want to always just be restricted to just 3 notes, do we? And so we can duplicate certain other parts of the chord. We're told here that we're in the key of D minor. We know that because we have a key signature of B flat. We know it's not F major because there's our raised seventh telling us that we're in the minor key. And so let's just sketch out what we're looking for. Chords 1, 2, 4 and 5. And if we're in D minor, it's D, E, F, G, A, D, F, A, E, G, B, G, B, D, A, C, E. Your key signature will deal with everything apart from the raised seventh. And then we're looking to describe whether it's root position, first inversion, second inversion. So here we have chord 2. We have the G in the bass. Then we have B, E, and the B is duplicated. So it's chord 2. All parts of chord 2 are there. We have the B repeated to create the fourth part of the chord. But because the G is the bass note, the lowest note, we know it's the first inversion, it's 2B. Here we have a chord 4. We have a D, a B. Of course, it's a B flat, but your key signature deals with that. Then we have the D, then we have the G. So we have the chord 4 represented, but the D is the lowest part of the chord, and so we know that's a 4C. Chord 1, we have F, A, D, A. That's chord 1 with the A duplicated. However, because the lowest note is F, we would say it's a 1B to show that it's the first inversion. Now this is a chord 5. We have E, A, C sharp, A. All the parts are there with the duplicated note to create the fourth voice. But because the lowest note is E, we must call that 5C to show us that we're in the second inversion. Let's move on to this final question. So perhaps if you haven't done so already, just try this last one on your own. So press pause and then pop back into the video and we can check this through together. So we're in E major, so we're looking for chords 1, 2, 4 and 5. And we have E, F, A, B. That's steps 1, 2, 4 and 5 of the scale. We build the triads. E, G, B, F, A, C, E, B, D, F sharp. There's a major key, so no raised sevenths to worry about. And we're going to explain whether it's root position, first inversion, second inversion. So we begin with a chord 1. We have G at the bass, E, B, E, and so because the G is at the bass, we call that a 1B. Here we have a chord 4, we have E, A, C sharp, A. Of course, your key signature deals with everything. The only thing we need to concern ourselves with is that E is the bass note, which is the final part of the triad, so we describe that as 4C. Now we have a chord 5, we have D, B, F, B. Of course the D and the F are sharps, but your key signature deals with that. The D sharp is at the base of the chord, and so we would describe that as 5B, showing it's the first inversion. Now here we have a chord 2, we have C sharp, A, and then 2 F sharps, so we have the F sharp, A, C sharp. Your key signature deals with all of the sharps. We just need to show that this bottom note is a C sharp, which is the final part of the triad, and so it's a 2C. And so we've properly explained the full chord allocation and what the bass, the lowest note is. I hope this is helpful to your studies. Please do like and subscribe to stay updated. If you'd like to support this channel, you can buy me a coffee, and for advert-free lessons you can become a patron.
Do visit my website where you'll find many resources available to help you. Visit sharonbill.com. Thanks for watching.
Bye!